Hey yo, E-King Fight News back once again. Shout out to all the subscribers out there and thank you for tuning in each and every time out. And we got another one, OLEKSANDR USYK, the man who became undisputed at cruiserweight, a feat that Anthony Joshua has yet to do in his own division, is now coming up for some real smoke. He's looking for Tony Bellew at heavyweight, and after that, he may be looking for some bigger names in the future. I mean, what's even more interesting is he looked very impressive against Murat Gassiev, such that Prince NASEEM HAMED, we all remember NASEEM HAMED, he had said in the post-fight, you know what, this man USYK can give Anthony Joshua huge problems, massive problems. He might be able to beat Anthony Joshua. And the gentleman beside NASEEM HAMED commentating said the same thing. I gotta see Joshua versus now. They're like, this is a damn near, this is a 50-50 fight. That was the impression after the World Boxing Super Series had come to a conclusion. So E-King Fight News, let's take a closer look at this matchup. You know what it is. Alright, so this is very interesting because I know Eddie Hearn, he likes to pick on smaller guys for Anthony Joshua, so this is right up his alley. You know, the cruiserweight unified / undisputed champion. I mean, no shade on Vladimir Klitschko. He may have fought several cruiserweights, quote unquote cruiserweights, during his top reign as heavyweight champion. I know he fought John McMormack, who was a bona fide cruiserweight when he fought Vladimir Klitschko, and that shit did not work out for John McMormack. You know, that didn't work out. But this is a real interesting matchup because there's a skill gap. There is a huge skill gap when it comes to OLEKSANDR USYK and Anthony Joshua. And the gap is in favor of USYK. You know, he's got the speed, he's got the foot movement, he's got combination punches, he's got better stamina. I mean, he's a better all-around boxer. I mean, really, Anthony Joshua has power. He's got technique behind him, and he's got that heavyweight punch. So, I mean, it is still a tough fight to call. So, in terms of the matchup, I mean, I just went over some advantages and disadvantages. Ultimately, this fight, a huge determining factor is, you know, how much effect would USYK's punches have on Anthony Joshua? Because the way Murat Gassiev was reacting to USYK's punches, really, you know, he started to really pile up the points in the latter half of that fight. In the first 6 rounds, USYK was winning, but his dominance really came in from round 6 and onwards, right? Do I believe he can do that with Anthony Joshua? No. And here's why. While USYK might be able to be ahead on cards, Joshua has the great equalizer. He's got one punch, knockout power. We saw it against Vladimir Klitschko. We've seen it against Dillian White. And I mean, against a guy like USYK, I don't know where his chin is at. I mean, he took picture-perfect shots from Gassiev, and at times he did get shook up. At times it looked like he was hurt. So, how can I break this down with a massive puncher, with a very strong puncher in Anthony Joshua, right? It's very difficult. You know, it's a situation where, you know, it's almost like there's a new division with guys like Joshua and Wilder, where they're really super heavyweights. They're really super heavyweights. And, you know, the heavyweights of old at 220, I mean, Deontay Wilder's really a throwback because his natural weight is about 220 pounds. He's really a throwback. But guys like Joshua, Klitschko, I mean, back in the day, George Foreman, they really started, you know, this super heavyweight division that really was able to dominate the other heavyweights. Because what? There's a huge size gap. You look at a guy like Usyk who weighs 200 pounds. Maybe he's gonna come in 220, maxed out, right? Does he have the punching power of Deontay Wilder? Absolutely not. So how is he gonna keep a guy like Anthony Joshua off of him? That would be my question. And to me, that would be the answer to that question would determine the fight. If he can keep Joshua off of him, gain his respect, then he can continue to do what he does, outbox him, you know, counter Joshua whenever he comes in swinging wide or jumping in, leaping in with a shot that he shouldn't be doing. And I think it's a tough fight, but ultimately I would favor the current champion, Anthony Joshua. Although he might be coming from behind on points, I think he would eventually catch up and catch Alexander Usyk in what would be a pretty interesting fight. Now that all depends where Joshua's at. I mean, I haven't seen him really improve in his last 3 fights, and that's never a good look. For a guy as young as Joshua, he should be improving time in and time out. You know, there's no excuse for that. You know, you're supposed to be learning and gaining experience each and every time out. So I'm seeing Joshua stagnate, and I'm seeing guys look better and better every time we see him. I see Deontay Wilder improving as a fighter. I see Alexander Usyk, my goodness. He just pitched a masterclass. So, you know, we're going to see how Dillian White and Joseph Parker look against each other. That should be something very intriguing. And maybe these guys might pass up, might be able to pass Anthony Joshua. But the one thing I give Joshua credit for is he tends to really stay in elite condition. I mean, he tends to really be in shape, but at the same time, I'm not seeing it in his stamina. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing all the conditioning he's putting into the gym. I don't see it paying it off just yet. So that's interesting, and we're just gonna have to see how that really turns out for him. Because AJ, you know, he looks to be cutting some weight. He looks to be cutting some muscle. So maybe he's going to get some dividends in terms of speed and stamina. Right? He just might. And we're going to have to find out. We're going to find out in that Povetkin fight, really, if Joshua has improved by cutting muscle and cutting, I mean, I don't think he'd be cutting fat off his body because, you know, he seemed pretty trim and pretty, you know, pretty ripped and shredded at 240 pounds. So, it is what it is. You know, we're just going to have to wait and see. What do you guys think about Alexander Usyk moving up? What do you think about him versus Tony Bellew? That's to me an excellent fight. That I would like to see Tony Bellew take that challenge on head first. Eddie Hearn's talking about making the fight happen, so I really believe if Usyk were to beat Tony Bellew, I think Eddie Hearn would want to give Usyk a shot at Anthony Joshua. He's a smaller guy, and I think it's right up Eddie Hearn's alley to try and you know, set him up to lose against an Anthony Joshua. E-King Fight News, let me know what you guys think, man. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And for now, it is what it is, man. We're out. Smash that like button. Peace.